Well, I was just going to say that that was because we knew who we wanted involved, but we didn't know what they were going to do, which I thought was
Right.
also a really interesting part about this too, is that you, um, you, when you're collaborating, you literally just get the files and you're like, okay, let's
Yeah,
see what it is.
exactly.
And Marcia's verse was just so smooth that that was one of the calls I remember. Like we had them in a different order, and it was like she comes in so smooth, like it's got to start with this, and that was a great move too to put her as the first verse in volume two as well.
Yeah, and I think the cool thing about that is that it keeps the energy going because of her delivery and
Yeah,
how she does it. Um, Damn, that me. Let's talk about that for a second. I mean, that call was like, dude, we're definitely like
well,
all three
it's
of the verses are so sick and they're so different, right?
yeah, yeah.
But it was like, she's got to be first,
Yeah,
right?
and to just even the, which I've later found because we've become better friends through doing this song than we were. We were pretty good acquaintances before both of our bands had played together, but her and I are similar. Like I don't party and I don't hang out, so like if I don't
Right.
see you in the moment, I might not see you, you know, and she's kind of the same way on tour. So we never really hung. And then it was like, well, we're doing the song, and she's like, I wonder why we never hung. And I was like, well, yeah, I'm mostly, you know, fucking playing guitar or on my phone or doing something in the
Right.
future. And she's like, me too. And I was like, well, if we didn't do those things together, we're not doing it. so,
Exactly.
so I thought that was pretty cool. And like, you know, Dwayne, we just know so well from him recording at the Madden Studios,
Sure.
and he was probably there like every time we worked together on anything as well, because he's just always in there creating. So I knew that he would have at least
Oh,
a notebook of something to go to, and then
and you knew he was going to come in hard too,
exactly, yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
and and Jordan, Jordan just put out a record this year as well, and I love the album, and so that was probably the most contentious one because like, you know, there are a lot of conversations, especially when we talk about like the ally and accomplice role of white people in terms of Black liberation, and you don't want to be or be perceived or comment something that can be considered exploitative whenever
Yeah,
you're
right.
having these conversations. So to
For
kind of
sure.
like blankly solicit someone, hey, do a verse on our track, you know,
Right.
I think that we lucked out in the sense that um, I loved his record so much. I was like championing it pretty hard, like months before we had this idea for this song. Um,
For
but
sure.
but also it was the Pittsburgh thing of he was just down to earth and like, yeah, of course, no, well, I'll do it. When do you want it? You know, like, which I thought was really really sick and awesome too. Um,
Yeah. I mean, it's about intention too with that kind of stuff, and you obviously want to be very sensitive and you want to make sure you're, having the right conversation, right? That's
yeah,
kind of the whole thing. Um, but damn, man, it's interesting listening to his verse when it comes in. It kind of gives me chills every time I hear it because
it's
it's a truth. It's a truth, and I
yeah.
messaged him on Instagram about it, and it's just something about when that shit comes in, it just hits me in a way.
Yeah, it's terrible to say this. You never pick a favorite child, but his verse is my favorite verse.
Nice, hell yeah.
it's it's so good. And what you did with the start stops, because that wasn't in there when he sang. He just did his verse to the beat, and you cut it up and built that dan 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 dan, dan. And it's so fucking sick. Yeah, I
Well,
would like that was another brilliant move by yours that I thought just like lifted the song to another level.
I gotta pull back the curtain. I really want to share this with you because I didn't tell you this before. So um so it's really hard for a guy like me who loves math and like
Yeah,
songwriting math to do songs like this because the arrangements are so different. But I think it was executed really, really well by your guidance. So one place I pulled from, which is one of my favorite I think not just one of my favorite songs, but just all the remix stuff that DJ Khaled does.
Mm.
So he has a song called Welcome to My Hood. And when he does a remix of a song, there's like 5 or 6 people, maybe sometimes 7 people on it. And this song is based a lot off of that remix. Because the way they do it is like the song will like stop for a minute and then re-kick back in.
Yeah.
And the way they do it is they like intro people like boxers almost. It's kind of like coming to the ring, and it's like pew, 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 and it's like oh, I forgot who it was. It was like a reggae artist, and it's like he's just kind of warming up, giving that like reggae vibe, and then it kicks in, and then he hits it. So with Jordan's part, I kind of grabbed a couple of tricks from the production of Welcome to My Hood and some other songs because they do that. I think maybe when Lil Wayne comes in or some of the other people who rap on it, and to me it was always like, oh yeah, it just keeps the energy going. When you have samples, it's hard to keep things interesting and new. And that's the tough part, because sometimes the voice can do that. The individual person who's doing the part, it can keep the vibe going, which I think this did really well. But sometimes just those little things, you know what I mean? Just putting them in there.
Well, I mean, that was a pretty cognitive discussion that we had when